Love that Chris Attella music.
Woohoo!
Every time you hear it, you know it's time for the Wagner Wiles.
Wagner Wiles is live tonight.
We got a fun episode. Some having a little bit of technical difficulties, which in a technological age, it's going to happen from time to time. Anyway.
That's right, Jack. Blame Joe.
Here we are again. Butcher's Bluff is in the house. Give us a little time. We'll get him up. We got Renfield for sure. And anyway, what we doing? We're doing Butcher's Bluff. We have hopefully Scott Williamson with us. Hopefully we have William Instone with us. And we definitely have Renfield Rasputin with us. So we'll have some stuff to talk about. We got all you guys with us too, hopefully. Hope y'all are all awake, wired. We're wired. Our tree fell in our house today, so we're all wide awake. Anyway.
If a tree falls on a house and you didn't say timber, does it still fall?
Oh, it fell.
It fell, but I didn't hear it.
I was at work.
I was working.
Sorry.
I didn't hear it. It's a good one.
I see somebody working on William's mic right now other than him. So
cool.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you guys know, and there's no easier way than, unfortunately.
So worst case, William comes in and we have a reverb. When I speak, for whatever reason, it's reverbing. And if we have to limp it, we'll limp it because we definitely want him here.
And Scott's got some hotspot issues. Hopefully get to talk to Scott.
He just came back up. So I do apologize for interrupting. I am going
no
to
interruption.
Drop back down.
Hey, Joe, do you want to bring them both up? So while we have Scott, bring them both up. Renfield and Scott.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Hi, Renfield.
And there's Scott.
Hi, Scott. Can you hear us, Scott?
Hello, Scott. Damn it, Joe.
That's right. Scott, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Woohoo.
Okay, so I say since we have some issues with his hotspot, we all want to tell. He dropped. Damn it.
Gosh,
Okay. Well, we got Renfield. So here we go. Okay, Renfield. I want to see if I have my timeline straight. And I was hoping to ask with William up. You two met at the 2017 Cult Classic Convention. Is that right?
No.
Y'all knew before that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Way before that.
But the Hogman was revealed in 18.
Yes.
Okay. I was messed up somewhere. Okay.
No. So William goes back with me 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2013. So I had I wrote a screenplay, my first screenplay, Lori, about the most haunted house in New Orleans.
Okay.
And I did it before American Horror Story or any of the other crap. I say crap because it's all been crap. It really has.
Hey, speak your mind. Randy.
It's been very Holly-weirded.
Gotcha.
So there's that. So I saw he was there, and I knew that he was an indie filmmaker from Texas. So I approached him. We started talking. We hit it off. I bought his movie, John, and long out of print. It was actually a really good film.
Right.
And I knew that he made movies for pennies on the dollar. So I started talking to him. Like I said, we hit it off. I said, "Hey, man, do you mind if I got a picture with you?" So I whipped out a camera, and he looks right at it, and he goes, "This is the same camera that I filmed John on."
Shut up. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we exchanged emails, and it was about a year or two later where I had a short that I said, "Hey, do you want to possibly go in with me and make this?" And he kind of gave me the, well, I don't know, send it to me and I'll see if I'm into it or whatever. And I'm like, all right, fine. Shit. I didn't know, I was like, dude, this guy must be big time. So anyway, so I don't think I ever showed it to him, but I started winning film festivals with Lori, and he wrote me up one day. I think it was like 2014. And after that, he was like, "Do you want to write a couple of plays with me?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Let's do it." So we wrote the first one. It was kind of, it was all right. But then we wrote a second one called 36 Notches, or excuse me, 32 Notches. And it was a very, very dark Western. And that ended up winning a Platinum Remy. And that ended up going to second place at the Wild Bunch Film Festival. So he approached me about one other.
Sorry, the alarm's going off.
Oops. Is that a smoke alarm? Because you might want to get out.
No, it's just the alarm because we opened the back door. Sorry.
It's all right.
Keep going.
Okay. I work all day with alarms. You think they don't bother me, so.
Right?
So that was like one of the cardiac alarms.
It is.
Live events are awesome.
So he approached me about a very, very diluted version of Butcher's Bluff. It wasn't called that. We didn't have a name. He had a story that was modded up from a story that he had written previously.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, looks like there was a double microphone issue. Okay, I think I got it worked out.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool,
Top
cool.
notch. You get to play
That was
catch-up now.
oh god, yeah, I don't know what was just said, so
Yeah, well, let
He just gave it-
let Renfield finish his story. I kind of like interrupted out of the blue
That's all
just to
right.
make sure that
Freaking live events are awesome.
aren't they? Just imagine producing this shit.
Only Joe. Only Joe.
We should get to blame Joe.
Renfield is explaining how y'all met. When you gave
okay.
him
Yeah.
the
There will be a test, William. There will be a test.
okay.
We'll see if it matches up. It's kind of like the what was that? The where the couples went on the show and they had to get the same answer.
That's right.
The
Newlywed game.
Newlywed Game. Yeah, the Newlywed Game. Yeah, it's like that. So
Right.
I was telling them about we met at Frightmare like 2012, 2013, something like that.
I believe it was 2012 because my brother had just died, and yeah, in that February, and I went there and I had his picture there when he was with me that year. So it had to have been 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's when we met. So we connected. That's cool.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know if you remember this. I shot you an email about a short that I had, and you're like, I don't know. I'll send it over and I'll see if I like it or something. So then you just wrote me out of the blue one day, and you were just like, hey, I got a couple of things you want to work on. I'm like, yeah. So
I believe it was I wanted you to proofread Among the Dead. That's what it was.
yeah, I did that.
Yeah. You proofread that for me.
Mhm.
And then with Butcher's Bluff, yeah, I had written a script that was called Butcher's Bluff. It's pretty much like 5% of what was in that original script was left over in the new one. But yeah, it was a completely different story. I remember that. And when we talked about working on this project now as it is now. Yeah, we totally changed it like 3 different times.
I'm so ready for this movie. Oh, I'm so ready for this movie.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh,
Me too.
Yeah, it's about 4 years in the making. I think we started this almost 4 years ago. And a lot of people think that, it just was something that came out in 2018. And it was actually, God, almost 4 years. So we've been on it for 4 years. I made the mask about 2.5 years ago. And the script has gone through so many changes. And I mean, I was just editing it today and, I looked at it now and I was like, God, did I write that? Did he write that? Who the hell wrote that?
I love
seen
being
that costume.
I have too. I love being involved, seeing it evolve.
Yeah.
And it's just from what I've just seen since 2018. I can't imagine what you guys have gone through. That has to be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, like he was saying, I mean, the one thing about it being an evolution is that there is a lot of changes in the script that happen all the time. I am guilty. I go in there and tweak stuff all the time, but we're getting to that point now where it needs to be locked down. I'm trying to. One of the things I've had to do recently was kind of simplify some of the things. Unfortunately, the virus has unfortunately put us on a major delay and kind of hit us kind of hard with our budgeting. So some of the things we are going to have to tone down just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect anything as far as the overall story. And the gorals are going to be there. It's just got to be a little bit more creative on some of the things that we do. We might have to throw an off-screen kill here and there, but that's true to the 80s style of horror. So I think it fits right in with what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Not everything has to be on screen,
That's right.
It's funny because like we were just 2 weeks ago talking, and we made a significant tie of everything coming together, and it was one of those things where I remember hanging up we talked for like an hour and a half, and I remember going, why the hell did we not think of that sooner? And it's going to be one of the coolest things of the whole movie, and it's definitely one of the things that sets the Hogman apart and makes it a significant character, so that when you think of the Hogman, you're really going to think of this trait about him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's just a small detail, too. It was nothing that was like, big change in anything. It's not something that's expensive or anything. It was just a simple idea that popped in from basically, hey, what's up? Adam Lane. Cool. Adam Lane created the axe, the Hogman's axe. So he's with Dark Creations, ATX. Quality products. I'll do a little pitch for you right there. You need a costume or a quality prop. Check
hey, William,
them out.
if you want to read his comment and who it is, because we do have an audience that only hears, doesn't see.
Okay. Well, the comment is gone from my side.
There it is.
Okay. Well, I don't like to read about myself. How about you read it for me?
William is one hell of a talented and twisted artist. Happy to work with him. Adam Lane.
Thank you.
I want to throw in that Adam's also from New Orleans, so.
So he's a little twisted by nature.
That's right.
Is that what you're saying?
Eric's asking when you think the film is going to begin, guys.
We're hoping for July right now is what I've been talking to. I've had to do a full reschedule. The painful part about this past weekend was it was supposed to be our start day, April 24th. April 24th was supposed to be our first day, and I spent like 2 weeks working on the scheduling and putting everything together, only to have it, postponed because of this virus. And that really is disheartening that we had to reschedule everything. So July, I'm hoping for the second weekend.
There's Mom on there.
It just kind of sucks because you look at it and you think, well, we booked for this location. We booked for these flights. We booked for this person to stay at this hotel, and now we have to redo everything, and it's just a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, we had some Airbnbs that we had to, cancel, and luckily through that site, there's a cancellation policy that we didn't lose any money off of it. So. But yes, we had some really cool locations set up for this place, and it's just for this movie, and having to talk to the owners and reschedule it all. It's a real pain in the ass. But you know what? Like he was saying, there is some positive that's come out of this delay because we have come up with some pretty cool little gems that are going to be sprinkled in there now that we probably wouldn't have come out with. So
that's cool.
It all happens for a reason.
There you go.
Well, speaking of things happening for a reason, this is one of the movies that was just so organic that it came together. And I remember being on the phone with William 3-4 years ago, talking over the next scene, and it just came out so natural. He's like, "That's exactly what we need." And I remember when we were just in the first 1-2 hours of talking about what we needed to do to write this. I remember going home that night. I said, let me write you the first scene, send it to you, see if we're on the same, page. He sent me one that he had written, and I sent him one that I had written, and we hadn't read each other's yet. When I opened his up, it was the opening scene was almost identical
That's
to
awesome.
the one I wrote. And there was even lines in there where we had used the same word at the same time, and it was really spooky. And just about a month ago, William called me up and told me about a location. And William, I'm going to let you tell that story because how it came about. This was one of the places we really, really wanted, but the owners did not want us. Yeah. And there was a change in ownership. And I'll let you tell the rest of that story because this was talking about things happening for a reason. This whole movie's been that way.
Wow. Yeah, I'll revamp on that first topic about the about the scene. That was really, it was crazy. I kind of just basically laid out what the scene was, and it was almost exactly how it was. It was kind of creepy, but the location is this it's called a scavenger yard, or it's kind of like a flea market antique store, and it's creepy. It's got like old rusted tools and just the coolest looking place for like what you would think of as the creepy guys, like Drayton Sawyer type of location.
Yes.
And when we first went there, the owner was like, I support the arts. I was a musician and this and this and this, and you can use my location. Sure. Can I see the website? So I sent her the information for the Butcher's Bluff page. Everything was a go. I posted a picture of the location. Look at this location I locked down today. I get an email saying, please take my photo down. I don't want my business associated with something so horrific and gross. That's a disgusting image. And she's like, I can't have anything to do with for her. So I went as far as to offer her money. I'm like, look, I don't even have money, but I'll pay for this location if I can get it because it's that good. And she said no. And by the act of Zeus, I get the guy that his name is actually a shout out to him. His name is Russ Dean. He was at the location, when I was there the first time, just ran into him. He's a Facebook friend. And I told him I'm scouting this location. And then now after we got rejected, we exchanged a few messages and he was like, wow, I can't believe they turned you down. That was crazy. I get a message from him saying, hey, guess what? They sold that place. The new owners are cool.
Cool. You
should go check it out. So sure enough, the next day I went down there and the owners are all about Halloween and things like that. So they're all about it. So, I just got to get the release form and the agreement contract signed, and we should have that location for Bill Johnson's store. So
congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Will y'all keep some of the trailer, or is that trailer is it going to be just
That's a proof of concept trailer. Every single thing is going to be reshot. That was only shot for two reasons. One was to give us something to use as a promo, and secondly, I wanted to play it at Billy Pond's fake trailer thing at Frightmare. So I made it for both purposes.
Billy Pond? You're muted.
Ooh, Joe.
You're right. I absolutely am. Do you want us to play that trailer?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That would be great.
And we're getting a little reverb again. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it popped up out of the blue. But I am going to play that trailer. Scott was trying to get on again. I do apologize. He's still having technical. Well, actually, he just came back.
Scott, I think I can. Are you there?
He's muted.
He muted. He muted. We're trying, Scott. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put that trailer up. So
all right.
Don't get involved in anything.
You got it.
Y'all
do we just wait?
Sexy.
Just freeze.
You go out into Butcher's Bluff looking, you won't find him. He'll find you.
Oh, shit!
Nothing in them woods except death.
38 people have gone missing the past 15 years. The locals say that there's a madman out there, and I'm gonna find out who it is.
If there's a madman out there, then this is scary as hell.
All the people missing up there are dumb kids or outsiders. Locals tend to avoid going up there.
What's with a camera?
We're film students. We're filming a documentary about Butcher's Bluff.
What they did to that boy was unforgivable.
You gonna cry?
You better thank us for putting you where you belong, huh, pig boy?
But they got what they deserved.
The Grimley boy disappeared from the mental hospital same year that folks started going missing on here.
Alright, if you don't believe in him, then why the hell are we here? Because ignorant motherfuckers like you do.
He's out there in them woods all right, all growed up. And all he wants is just to be left alone. Once he has his sights on you, there's no escaping.
There's something behind those trees.
He'll cut you down one by one like lambs to the slaughter. He will not stop until none of you are left alive.
He's gonna kill us! We're all gonna die!
No, ma'am. Just you.
Y'all are sick-minded people. It's twisted.
What a great proof of concept.
Thank you.
Oh,
I want to do a few
God.
shout-outs before we go on about see some of the people that helped make that possible. First of all, my co-director Matt Riffley, he did all the camera work in that. So all the edit, all the shooting, lighting, all that was him. Whoa, that's sneezing. Secondly, the shout out to Abel Berry. He's director of Blood Sombrero, Strix. You know,
Yeah.
he did some of the music for that. I mean, he and I both did. He added a score, and then I added to the score. So we both did the music on that. So big shout out to Abel Berry. Plus, we wouldn't have got the budget without him. So I really got to acknowledge that that guy right there is. He was kind of an angel sent, you know. So you got to do an Indiegogo. You kind of raise money. Contact Abel Berry and talk to him.
He's the man.
Sorry, I thought I muted the mic before I sneezed. So my apologies.
She did not.
I tried.
Blame Sam.
No, it's Joe. It's Joe.
Always blame Joe.
Guys, there are a ton of freaking comments after playing that trailer. I don't know if you want to
rated PG. Yeah, no. It will not be rated PG.
As long as I'm down to hear him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go.
Marlo said that she's on with Little Hog Boy.
That's Jordan Eldon's mother, Marla. He plays the Hogman as a young boy. Yeah, he was. Yes, Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson was the narrator in there. He will be over in the original film. Obviously, if you don't know who Bill Johnson he's Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw 2, and he's a friend. You know, I've been friends with him for a long time. Don't forget to put dirt and blood all over the skin and the body parts. Joe Castro, hey,
Joe's the man.
Oh yeah, he just made a sick prop for the film. He cast
Sean Phillips' head. That's right.
It looks exactly like him. So,
it really did.
It was awesome. Mindy. Thank you very much.
So I looked at IMDb today. Is it going to hold everybody holding pretty firm as far as cast?
Yes, that's one of the things I've been talking to with people about the rescheduling. Everybody's in. We have to add Jeremy London. We do have Jeremy London from Mallrats. I just talked to him. Right. He's all good. He's gonna have a great scene. He's in the opening scene. It's gonna be really awesome. The scene we were talking about how he wrote.
He's gonna be perfect.
So yeah, that's a cool dude, man. He's a really, really cool laid back dude. So
look at the names. Y'all got Brink Stevens, Sean C. Phillips, Paul T. Taylor, Bill Johnson, L.C. Holt, Nick Ford, who's like coming on strong. Nick Ford's like in everything right now. My best friend forever, Tyler Stone. Scott Williamson, who's trying to get on with her. He's going to be in it. Logan Hamby. I didn't realize Logan was going to be in it. I forgot.
Who's that?
I saw it in, what are the actors? Logan Hamby.
Who?
Yeah. Logan Hamby.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't hear it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's breaking up again. And then Ashley Laporta, who was in that. We just saw her in the trailer.
Yeah. She did a really good job in the trailer.
We love Ashley.
Yeah, it's funny about the Cult Classic. We were there. I passed her 1,000 times because I was running 90-0, and I was like, damn, she looks so familiar. And I was home when I realized who it was, and then I didn't stop and hug her neck like,
But she was busy.
I texted her and I was like, I'm so sorry. I knew it was you and I could not place it.
Did you see Bo's question there, William?
What was the time and budget for the trailer? The budget was about $700.
Wow.
And that's $700. Like I said, Matt shot it all with his own gear, so we didn't have to pay for anything because he owns it all. And we did it over a course of 4 days. So basically, what we knew we were going to do a trailer, so I didn't overshoot. What you see on the screen is what we shot. We didn't shoot full scene. This was well planned out, you know.
Billy, I was talking earlier about how you were known for doing things like that, being able to make features and shorts on just a couple bucks and making them stretch.
Right. Back in the day when I was doing things the way, thank you, Bo. Thank you. I said impressive. It's a little bit harder now because we want to do this the right way. And, we're going to get a DP and we're wanting to shoot it on the red cams and, kind of have a little bit more professional crew than what we're used to working with. But yes, most of our stuff we've done for pennies, pennies on the dollar, what it would mostly cost. So it can't be done.
Terry Gerald's watching. Will there be drones involved?
Will there be drones?
Will there be some drone
we have a drone expert on our team.
We got Terry watching, so he's going to want to know that.
Nice. Well, everything's possible. I got to talk to the DP.
Awesome.
One of the other questions way up there was, this is a plug for Indie Brigade, is do you have a distributor yet? Or have you talked to any distributors?
Do you remember the name of that company I sent you the other day? Somebody hit me up the other day.
Yeah, hang on. I have it.
Yeah, I don't have it on me.
Hang on.
People are contacting me, man. We don't have to plug their name. I don't even know. Yeah, if people are contacting us now, we're kind of doing a wait and see thing. I'd like to go ahead and make it first and then kind of test the waters and see what's out there. I know a lot of times you can get distribution beforehand, but sometimes, from what I've heard, you can sometimes screw yourself doing that. So,
yeah, I found it here. It's. I was going to look into it though.
Oh, Joe's saying you don't have to announce it. He's nodding no.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not. I was just curious if I still had it or if I erased it or lost it or that'd be appropriate.
We got Scott down here. I don't know if we're going to try it again.
Try again.
So,
just start talking, Scott. Talk, Scott.
Oh.
Just talk.
Hold on. Wait. Damn.
I think I can.
There was another one by Sean. Hold on a second. Sean Smithson has been doing a lot of engraving and stuff, wood engraving. And he asked if you guys had an emblem or anything, and he'd love to do it. So
Cindy said, please inbox her, and she will get you the information that you need.
He can do that.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Wait.
He can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is sick. Do it again, guys. I got you full screen.
Yeah.
Nice. That is awesome.
That is inspired by Danzig, if you can't tell.
All right, we're gonna try.
I think Renfield is a Misfits fan.
So,
Glenn, don't
let's
sue
see
us.
if we get Scott.
Yeah.
We had a little orb. Did we get
Scott? Just talk. Just talk, Scott.
Scott.
Can you at least talk?
It's like Wilson. There.
Just start talking.
Do it, Scott.
There's Scott and his biggest fan in the background.
Are y'all
talk? Just talk.
Go.
Are you recovering nicely? Are you safe? We love you. Scott lost everything in a tornado that ripped through Mississippi.
Except his spirit.
Except his spirit. You can't ever mess that up.
Spirit.
That's right.
That's right.
And we love you. Hope you can hear it.
Hey, Scott, if you can hear me, send me a message and I can read it for you if we're not able to get you on.
And guys, that link to the GoFundMe is huge. Nobody's going to be able
to
scroll. If anybody can send it in the messages, then I can bring it up on screen, and it'll also be in the messages after the show.
Cindy's probably has it, huh, William?
Cindy has it.
Yeah.
If Cindy wouldn't mind doing that.
She's watching. I'm sure she'll post.
She's here, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say while we're doing waiting for Scott to be able to talk is Renfield. I know you're out there, you're in the front lines, and we want to thank you for what you're doing and being out there, putting yourself at risk and your family for us.
Thank you. It means a lot to us. It really does. I mean, I've had a couple of patients come in, and yeah, that's usually don't talk about my private life, but I am an emergency room nurse, and I have already treated 13 COVID patients. I should say positive COVID patients myself, and we really appreciate all the love that everybody has been giving us and dropping by cookies for us, and just saying, hey, I just want to come in and say hi and thank y'all. And it's really touching because usually all we do is just get cussed out and spit on.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the life of emergency room nurse. But everyone has been very, very nice to us lately, and it's been very touching. So thank you.
Thank you, Renfield.
Scott's fan is still not moving.
Scott's fan stuck.
Well, he private chatted and said, I can hear y'all. And he said it again, I can hear y'all. But
his fan's moving. Do it, Scott.
Talk, Scott. You got the floor.
Oh, do it.
Anything you want to say.
There may be a delay in when you're talking and when it actually picks up for him, is what I'm thinking.
Start holding up signs. Just write signs.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like the old Doors video, or the NXS
like the
video.
The NXS video.
Yeah, like that one. He's frozen again.
Gosh, dog it.
Like barely.
I'm going to inbox him and have him call me on my phone, and I'll play him on speaker, and y'all can hear him. How about that?
Yeah,
brilliant. That's awesome.
Hey, whatever works,
That's right.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Mindy. We love Mindy. Mindy's going to be in some movies too.
I think I knew that about Mindy. I think somewhere in the the interweb of Facebook, Mindy wrote that, and when it first dropped out, and we were on like a horror site or something. I think she wrote something similar to that. That's awesome too. That was the first thought. I thought that's awesome. Yeah.
I want to say Bridge of the Doom, but don't hold me to that. I think that's right, Mindy. Don't be mad at me if I got that wrong.
One of our actors was in that film as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That's cute.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
That's cute. I just love you. So when the filming actually does start,
yes,
Renfield, what will your position be? Will you be just script? Will you be co-directing? I mean, what do you see yourself doing when everything starts up?
Serving sandwiches.
That's important. I've come to find out that's very important.
You don't have a happy fed cast. You don't have anything.
Yeah.
Putting the toilet paper back in the porta potty we have to rent.
Boom. It's important stuff.
No job is too small.
Bridge of the Doom. Got it.
Set medic, because I'm probably going to get myself all fucked up running around at night in that mask.
You are.
Okay, you ready?
Most
hold on. Are y'all ready? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt y'all. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
Hey, guys.
Well, hello. Finally.
Can you hear him?
Okay, go again.
Can y'all hear me?
We can, indeed.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
You got the floor, Scott.
What's going on, everybody?
It's your floor since you can't hear them. Go ahead.
I just want to thank everybody for helping me so much through all these hard times. Everybody standing behind me, and everybody's got their own problems going on right now with all this COVID stuff and not being able to work and trees falling on houses. And I mean, I just really appreciate it.
We love you, brother.
I love all of y'all. Ready to get this movie started.
That's what I'm talking about. Scott's going to be Luke.
Marla says, love you, Scott.
Maybe we should
love her too.
Let's talk about how we brought Scott into it.
Talk about that, please.
Sure. That was a cult classic.
All right,
Yeah.
Scott,
Again.
are you done, Scott?
Yeah, just let everybody know that I really do appreciate them, all of y'all.
Okay.
I would not have done without everybody.
We'll do it. And they're fixing to share with how you became a part of this story.
Butcher's Bluff.
Amazing.
All right. We love you and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, I love all of y'all too. I appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Love you, Scotty.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Love you too, man. Bye.
Okay. So, who wants to tell how he got involved?
Yeah, so it was called Classic. It was 2018. I don't know. It was like more than halfway through the Saturday day, and Scott and his mom rolled over to our booth, and it was like instant chemistry. And he walked up to me and he said, hey, I want to write a film. Where do I start? And we started talking, and I just told him, hey, read this book, because that's how I learned. I old school. I just read a book and memorized everything in it, put it on paper, and I told him, get this book, buy this. You know what? I'll give you my number. Write me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. So his mom pulled me aside and said, hey, thank you so much for talking with him about that. And, this is something that's real important to him. And I was like, it's not a big deal at all. It's I enjoy doing it. So I enjoyed meeting people at all the conventions. I do. So he came back to me later and he just started talking to me, and we just hit it off. I mean, he was just the coolest guy ever. And why the hell he was even talking to me, I don't even know, but he was great. So we stayed in touch, and then I approached William about it and said, hey, listen, why don't we put him in the film? That's the one thing about Butcher's Bluff, is that we try to adhere to all of the, I don't want to use the word cliche. That's not appropriate, but I try to adhere to everything that made slashers great in the 70s and 80s. And one of the things we were doing is paying a decent tribute to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And, there was a character in the wheelchair in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I said, I don't think anyone's ever done this before. Why don't we put Scott, give him a shot. Let's, have him read a couple lines and see where it goes. I don't want to get his hopes up, but we might be sitting on something. There's somebody else in the film that we met him the same way. And he said, hey, I really want to audition for it. And I said, well, let's give him a shot. And he ended up being one of our main cast members. So, but that's how Scott ended up. And he, we just said, hey, where can we write him in? And we found a really cool part for him. So he's really excited about it. We're really excited to be working with him and having him on the film, because, he's a great person.
I remember when he got announced for the movie, I think he could feel his smile all the way everywhere, because he was so freaking happy.
Well, I told him, I said, he put up his IMDb picture, right, and Logan put up his IMDb picture. And as, pure Renfield fashion, I wrote in, crap, I don't even have an IMDb page. Fucking screenwriter, I don't even have one, and he's like, sure you do. No, I don't. No, my name's there, but I don't have a page. So he was really excited, to have an IMDb page. And I thought that was really, really cool, man, because you could just tell his smile was from like ear to ear. And I was really happy. Yeah, it's great.
And that voice of his is it's infectious, man. It's just awesome.
It's like Johnny Cash,
It's awesome.
The first time I heard him talk, I was like, keep talking, because it was like he was from another country.
Just say something.
I'm from the sticks, and I've never heard an accent with that much sticks. It was like, what? And his mama too.
Yeah, I got him growing a mullet too, so he's gonna add.
That's right.
He's got to grow the mullet.
The mullet's for the movie, right?
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Little exclusive there.
He'll be in the overalls. In the overalls and the mullet. It's gonna be
awesome. One of the comments in here is somebody's asking, what is a cult classic convention? Do y'all all want to gush over how awesome it is?
Yes.
Well, to me, it's like the pinnacle of Texas cons. And even though it's a smaller con, it's the coolest, because it's more intimate and you're able to actually just meet the people and talk to them, and you're not just like cattle being rushed through.
Correct.
And it seems like people you meet there, it's not just a one-time thing. If you spend more than 5 minutes talking to somebody, you end up connecting, and you become friends. I mean, to me, what Roy Rose has done has been amazing. I really hope that it grows and more people support it, because it's really good. I love it. I mean, we've been there since the beginning. I plan on being there for as long as they'll have us.
Us too.
And next year is already set for April. Do I have
no, February.
February. I'm sorry.
Later in February.
Later in February.
Wow.
Scott, Roy and Lisa Rose bought the gas station from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was falling in on itself. It was literally going to collapse. And Roy saved it, and it's got some of the best barbecue you've ever had. Got a memorabilia at the wazoo, and you can still go there for anybody that's watching. You can go to the gas station. You can go in, I think, a pair at a time. But the barbecue nonstop. No curbside assistance.
He's even got that cool replica of the van.
The van, yep.
On the
There's
side.
cabins in the back.
Cabins
you
in
can
the
stay on
back,
site
yeah.
if you're dare enough to stay.
They do
Had the
movie
hot-
screenings out there sometimes. I saw The Exorcist there not too long ago.
Oh,
That was when
Actually,
Eileen
it
was
was-
there. Eileen was there.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was our final night, I believe, of our campaign, and man, it was cool because we got a couple of really big donations that night, so it was
Awesome.
cool. Got to see the Exorcist and finish off our Indiegogo campaign strong.
Eileen was just on with George this past Friday
Yes.
on Romero Pictures Indie Brigade.
She's a character.
Yeah, she is.
She's a trip. Joe, did you have something to say? You popped in. Usually when Joe pops in, we have to listen.
Lance was right on.
What?
Oh, talking about Eileen.
About Eileen,
Okay.
yeah. I pay attention, Joe. I try. Oh yeah. So anyway, Cult Classic Convention, Renfield. Do you want to touch on that, or basically echoing what William said? Because I feel the exact same way. I think it's just it's the best thing to go to.
It is. I mean, this is the way that I'm not going to say a name because I don't want to make it sound bad, okay? Because everyone loves them, and I'm not going to hate on them. But that's not what I'm doing. But I'm just going to say this is what some of the other horror cons in Texas used to be. This is the way when you hear on Facebook people going, oh, well, I used to like it better when it was smaller. This is called Classic. That's what it is. I mean, you can walk up to the guys, the guests, the celebrities, and talk to them. And if no one's behind you, you end up talking with them for 20, 30, 40 minutes. And I mean, where else can you walk up to Michael Berryman? Just start talking to him. Exactly. Yeah. I just start talking to him.
Y'all were right there by him too. Y'all like right
I was
there.
with him all weekend, so
That was
I still go and talk to him all weekend long. It was great.
I took a selfie, and it was one of the ones. And this is kind of what it looked like. Hang on, let me adjust my screen. My glasses were like
perfect
because William told me, "Hey, I got us a booth. We're across from Michael Berryman." I'm like,
That's awesome. Just Michael Berryman.
I walk in, and I'm like,
that's the man.
You weren't kidding. We were literally like hang on, let me throw something at him.
Right there. If I took two steps from his table, I was standing next to William. Absolutely.
I don't sit down the entire weekend, so I was hurting. Thanks for the ride, by the way, to my car.
Your feet were killing you.
Yeah, your feet were. That's where I forgot all about that.
Hi,
yes,
Joe.
yes, Joe. Yes,
Joe.
So Sam,
Yes.
left or right?
Left or right? Right. No, just say one.
Berryman can wiggle his ears, and he asks Sam. He goes left or right.
Yes.
She goes left or right. He goes no. Say left or right.
And he was
I remember I was watching that.
because I think he wanted to say, "You're so dumb. Pick left or right," but
Such
he
a
didn't
nice
say
guy.
that.
He was so nice, and I was so starstruck when I took the selfie. I mean, my glasses are all.
Look who's right there.
Drew Marvick, director of Pool Party Master. He's talking with us, and he walks up and he says, He says, hey, I got a chance to do a photo shoot with Night of the Demons cast. He goes, should I ask Michael Berryman to be in it? And I go, well, yeah. He goes, right? Because, I mean, if you want to have Michael Berryman with Night of the Demons, right? I said, of course. The picture came out epic. Drew's a hoot. Absolute hoot.
Love me some Drew. He's awesome. He laughs every day during this pandemic, whatever they're calling it. He makes me giggle every day. He's got some kind of funny.
A lot of people are staying positive. A lot of people are staying positive. He's one of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to be that way. You know, I mean,
no, you are. No, you
I'm
are.
using my time. I'm using my time. You know, trying to get this stuff all set because, like I said, I'm ready to roll, man. I can't wait to get this movie made. You know, we got so much to get done, and we only have 18 shooting days. So, you know, it's a lot of it is planning and just planning and getting it all knocked out, not wasting time.
So will you be wearing a mask underneath the Hogman costume? Or, no?
The COVID mask?
No. I already can't breathe in it. So
right.
Yeah, I've already heard enough complaints about this is so hot.
Yeah, and the fact that we had to move this thing. We had to move the fucker to July. I mean, that's going to be death in that thing.
Brutal.
I don't think I hugged William any less than, I don't know, 100 times that weekend. And every time I put my arms on him, that thing is thick.
It is huge.
It is stout. It could stand on its own. It's so
And I've said
heavy.
it before. I'll say it again. It is intimidating. I mean, it is an intimidating outfit, man. Good Lord.
I'm working on it right now. I'm actually doing some updates to the jacket. So it's pretty cool. It's going to look really good.
Awesome.
It's airing out outside because it won't smell like spray paint.
Oh, wow.
It looks absolutely filthy.
We sold the stunt mask. The stunt mask sold, and I'm about 3/4 of the way done with it. And it is an exact replica of that mask that you see in all the shots. But the only difference is that in the real mask, those are actual hog tusks, and those are real hog ears. And we're going to use that for the close-ups. But the stunt mask, I'm actually making out of a flexible resin because William is rough as hell on stuff.
Like instead of a bull in a china cabinet, a pig in a china cabinet.
A bull in a Hogman outfit.
I tell the actors.
Look at the tear on Ashley's face.
I mean, Ashley nailed that scene.
She looks scared in that.
Escape. Oh, look.
That's Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Jordan.
We met him at the Cult Classic Convention.
I don't think he sat down the whole weekend either. Like he was like,
no,
William is not going to updo me.
That's a cool kid.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a cool kid.
His mom's pissed off at me because she wants his hair cut. I need his hair long.
Well, they don't have to cut it for school.
It needs to stick out of the mask and look creepy.
That's
He's got to play me as a young child.
Well,
that's what I told him. I was like, he's going to end up with all the long-haired freaks with us, you know. So,
but yeah,
no problem, Elena. No problem.
When we shot one of our Indiegogo videos, because I mean, there's kind of an interesting story about that. I think the last time we talked, Lance, on a podcast, I told you how unsuccessful our Indiegogo was before.
That's not true. That's not true.
We won't go into that mistake, but
right.
I will say that we shot that in summertime, and I wore that costume. It was definitely brutal. So I'm hoping to plan out everything to be shot early in the morning and a lot of night stuff to keep me going so I don't overheat and die. But Gunner did it, and so I gotta take it up.
Honor Gunner, that's right.
And for those people who don't live in Texas, just know that it's hell here, literally in summertime. It's humid, like 100% humidity, and like 100 degrees smoldering. It's awful.
That's a good question from Damon.
Bluff, official Butcher's Bluff fan page on Facebook. That's where I'm most active. We also have Butcher's Bluff movie on Facebook. We're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram. It's all pretty much Butcher's Bluff movie or Butcher's Bluff. You'll find it. You'll see. You can't miss the hog. So
no, not at all.
I'm sorry.
But thank you for your interest.
Texas compared to Florida?
Oh yes.
Joe, y'all
Don't
can't,
even
y'all
start.
cannot touch Texas.
Don't even start. Y'all got water all around y'all, man. Come on. Little peninsula.
We got Joe timed out. You what?
Damon, if he wants to go on now, I'm holding my phone. I'll give him access right now. Just do the request. I'll shoot you right in.
Yeah. Damon's one of my type brothers. He's
cool.
He'll be very interested in this.
Yeah, I mean, really appreciate all the support from people. That's one of the cool things that I've learned from this project. Is just how supportive and how awesome people are in the horror world. You know,
y'all killed it on the
Indiegogo. Man, with Indiegogo was humbling. It was such a humbling experience. I mean, I never experienced anything like that before. You know, I've been making films for 10 years. They've all been small, you know, no budget stuff, and I really have never had a lot of support until now. And it's really awesome. It didn't happen overnight. I will say that you know, for 2 years I was going to horror conventions and Comic-Cons in that costume and walking around and handing out flyers. So it wasn't like an overnight buzz thing, which would have been really cool. I mean, there's a lot of work that went into getting interest in it. The one thing now is that there's a lot of pressure to deliver. People are expecting. And I'm claiming it. Y'all are going to deliver. So we have to deliver. I've got, like we said, Joe Castro's doing that head effect, which is really good. We also got Jenna Green, who was on the show on Sci-Fi, the Face Off.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I believe she was in season 2.
Oh my gosh, I love Face Off.
Yeah, so she was an artist in there, and actually she ended up having just carpal tunnel and got eliminated by stepping out because she couldn't do stuff with her hands. So it was no fault of her own. Other just her hands gave out on her. But she's very good, and she did the effects in the trailer. So we have her here locally, and then Joe's going to be doing that head and possibly a few little After Effects things that we have to have. But it's very, very, very minor because I want to stick, you know, probably like 98% is practical.
Joe is a freaking legend.
Oh, awesome guy. Awesome.
Man.
So I know you're probably like inundated with Butcher's Bluff stuff, but is your mind like working in like, okay, what's my next project? Even though you're still in this realm, are you thinking about what's next? Well,
I'm writing a novel during this time, which has been the hardest writing endeavor I've ever attempted. It's a whole different world, though I am writing it in third person present, so it is similar to writing a script, but it's very difficult. It's based off of my zombie script Among the Dead, but I've changed the name to The Ravenous. So
sweet.
Yeah, The Ravenous is it's a different take on zombies. It's pretty much Mad Max meets Day of the Dead.
Nice.
And so, you know, but it's a very emotional tale as well. I use a lot of experiences of death and you know, kind of humanizing a lot of the people. Like since I've actually gone through all that, losing family members, I can basically break it down in detail, kind of the phases and what you go through when you lose someone and what's in their mind at that time. And I'm also adding in some survival tactics, you know, kind of like that they don't really show in any of the zombie movies. Like if you're in the woods, how the hell do you find your way out? How do you purify water?
Right.
How do you get through things like that? So it's been a lot of stuff like that I can add in the book that I couldn't do in a movie because it's just kind of would be boring in a movie, fast paced action. But with the book, you can do a little bit slower burn. So I've been working on that, and then believe it or not, I have another Western. We did 36 Notches, and now I'm doing one called Redeemer. And I've been kind of working on that one, and I also have another one called Repentless, which is Repentless is kind of crazy. It's got a lot of religious overtones, and you know, it's based off of the Slayer song. But that one's crazy. I actually got the idea from a fake trailer that I made for a competition. I did a fake trailer, and it's pretty wild. If I was to tell you what it was about, you'd be like, what? It's basically, if you saw, you know how you said that UFO stuff was in the in-and-out background, right? Well, that's kind of what this is about. What if everything we've known that the government's told us has been a lie? And somebody finds out. So basically it starts in the 60s during the Apollo projects. and an astronaut goes into space and low Earth orbit and finds out something.
Oh my!
And when he comes back, he's debriefed not to talk about it. And
Nice.
things happen. So it's kind of like a long X-Files, an action-packed X-Files. So
we can talk about it on the Wagner Wiles when it's made into a movie.
Right.
That's a long way off. It's kind of on the back burner.
We got this.
Yeah, those are projects that I've been kind of messing with. The problem is I have so many. And Phil will tell you, as a writer, you start writing something and then you get another idea and you're like, shit, I got to write that down before I forget it. And then you tend to bounce from project to project and not getting one done.
Creative, man.
You got to remember which file that one's in.
Yeah. So but I mean, as far as actively working on something, all I've really been doing is focusing on the pre-production of Butcher's Bluff and then working on this novelization thing right now. So that's what I've been doing.
What about you, Renfield? About the same?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you're working too.
Yeah. It's like 3 or 4 projects all at one time. But right now, I have between Butcher's Bluff and I have another gentleman who's just blows my mind, and it's kind of intimidating to work with him. His name's Jeffrey Stackhouse, and he is a phenomenal screenplay writer. And I'm working with him on something right now, trying to get that out. And we did one based on a short story that I did about a convent in New Orleans. And that won 2 film festivals and finalized in about 3 others, but trying to figure that one out. But the big thing I've got going on right now is there's a gentleman named Paul Allender, which a lot of you metalheads may know. Paul Allender was the guitar player for Cradle of Filth. Wow. And he was the guitar player that wrote all of their big hits that during their prime of Amphetamine, Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. He was in Pornography. He wrote 6 of their biggest albums. And he's left Cradle and he's gone on and he has a new band named the Unnamed Horrors. And it's very Lovecraftian. And it's just full of Lovecraft, but he's not, the songs aren't, but the, aura around the band is. And so what he has done is he wrote me up and he said, let me see some of your work. I hear that you've dabbled with Lovecraft in the past, and I have won a H.P. Lovecraft writing contest that was promoted by Rhode Island's newspaper to write a Lovecraft-like story closest to without ripping him off. And I won Reader's Choice for that, and that was a worldwide contest. So he heard about that, and he wrote me up and said, can you, would you like to write the liner notes for our artificial band history? And I'm like, of course, that. I mean, I grew up listening to Cradle of Filth, so hopefully this will be out on Halloween. And there's going to be another thing that he wrote me, and he said, can I give you a phone call? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he called me and he said, hey, this is Paul. And I'm like, really? But the British accent was so thick, I was like, yeah, this is really Paul Allen I'm talking to. And he said, hey, listen, on top of that project, can you do one more for me? I'm like, I'm going to tell you no. So he said, there's something that's going to go along with the album release. And I can't talk too much about it right now, but the first, I've already said too much. The first few albums are going to have something else go along with it, and I want you to write it. And so I've been working on those 2 things for Paul Allender, and it's a little intimidating to work with Paul because, he's a professional and he is so nitpicky. So every time I change one thing on it, I have to sit it back and I'm like, is this okay? You sure? Because I can fix it, man. I can fix this, And he's loved everything so far. But the other day I wrote him and I'm like, this is not good enough. So if you give me a few more days, I can fix this. And he wrote back, and he's such the, amazing gentleman, all British. He's like, oh, absolutely. I definitely, I love your attention to detail. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I just know it's intimidating because if you've ever read Cradle of Filth lyrics, Danny is like the quintessential lyricist. It's like Lord Byron in the flesh. So
wow.
I'm kind of intimidated that I'm having to write this liner note for his next album that Danny Filth is probably going to be looking at. And he's probably going to look at this. Who's this Renfield chap? He sucks. You know?
You're being too hard on yourself.
Bollocks. So, you know, he's probably going to be reading this, and I have to just be sure to do it right. But
congrats.
Thank you. Awesome. This is big. You know, I thought Butcher's Bluff was big, and it is, but this is just like a different era. This is like a different project altogether. So, you know, Butcher's is the movie, and the Unnamed Horrors is musical. And, you know, I came from a music background. So, music, and a lot of people don't know this. I actually came from an acting background too, but I haven't done anything in like 20 years. So, it's kind of cool to actually start merging everything together. So
right.
I'm really happy right now.
You two have made us so ridiculously proud. I mean, we are so happy for you guys.
William, they want to know if you have a Facebook page. Do you have a Facebook page on the book you're writing?
Well, you know, there's you can look up The Ravenous on Facebook. It was actually, I believe it's listed under film because it was going to be a film, and it probably will be a film one day. But that's where I'm posting all the information on it.
Okay.
Cool.
If you follow me, I'll probably I put a link up there, you know, on my personal page. I pretty much accept everybody. So if you have me, you know.
He's the man.
I can usually spot the fake accounts pretty quick, you know. So as long as
there's
it's real.
a lot of them right now. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So many burner accounts. I can't stand them.
Renfield, where can people find you?
At the bar.
That's right.
You don't have time to go to a bar. You work in a hospital.
Yeah, you're right. You can find me on Facebook. Just Renfield Rasputin on Facebook. And I'm like William. I just pretty much accept everybody's request, and you know, I don't turn anybody down. If you're going to get political on me, I'm just going to probably silence you, but I don't get into the negativity, and I don't do politics. I don't do anything serious. So just be prepared. If you're going to get on my page, I may, you know, because I am a nurse, I probably will say something like wash your damn hands. But for the most part, Renfield's page is about very dark humor, horror, heavy metal, old school outlaw country, and just get ready to have a lot of that. But you know, I'm not saying anyone's political. You know, I can't be your friend. That's cool. I like everybody, but you know, I'm just going to silence you if you start bashing this and bashing that and promoting this and promoting that, and it's not horror, outlaw country, or heavy metal. I don't care. Because this is my escape from reality, and this is where I go to. This is where I go to every day. And you know, William and I were talking about that for Butcher's Bluff. This is what we want to deliver: is something that is an escape, so that people can get away from politics, get away from your job, get away from all the bad things in the world. You know, so that's what art does. And
I don't want to have a fucking message. There's no message in Butcher's Bluff. It's just fun. There's no political message. If anybody tries to find or tie anything into that shit, they're definitely not going to find it. If they do find it, they're stretching.
like on Mr. Mom, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
We made definite, you know, it has come up where should we put this person or that person? Should we, you know, allude to this, that? And the answer is always no, but hell no. I don't want. And William doesn't want. I'm speaking for myself, but I should speak for both of us. We have agreed that this is not political. Do not think hard about it. This is going to be a 80s throwback. It is boobs and blood and body count. This is, but it's not
There's even a joke here and there, you know. You know, it's got that good. Friday the Part 6, you know, Jason Lives type of kind of vibe to it as well. You know, I don't know why, but for some reason, everything I do seems to be have a little touch of comedy in it. It's not intentionally, it's not played out to be comedic, but there's always just the situations that pop up, and how the characters handle it is funny.
That's the interesting part, because I firmly believe that horror and comedy go hand in hand. I mean, you can be serious with it, but you can only take that so far. You need to have a little bit of comedy. It's kind of like old vaudeville. If you could see old vaudeville, it was dark. And when you have things like Friday the 13th 6, which had a little bit of a levity to it, that's what we wanted to accomplish here. We wanted just a little bit of brutal mixed with a little bit of, that's kind of fucking funny. So we wanted to have a little bit of levity to it. And we didn't want to be all serious. And if you know both of us, we like to laugh, We can be serious, but we're also, we joke a lot.
I mean, it's not going to be Hatchet over the top like Hatchet, even though we love Hatchet. Hatchet is actually a big influence on this film. It's not going to be over the top like that. It probably wouldn't even be as comedic as Part 6, but there is going to be some elements of that in there, especially with our redneck characters, because we wrote that kind of on purpose, because rednecks are just funny.
They are funny. That's right.
They don't, without trying to be, they're just funny. So,
Right.
and then our main characters are stoners. So sometimes a stoner's reaction to something is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
So, and you have sluts that are just kind of dingy. So how they would react to things is going to be kind of funny. So it's realistic, but then there's a little bit of comedy in there. It's not like set up the joke and hit the punchline. It's not like that. Just so no one gets turned off by that idea. Even if you're not a fan of that, you'll like what we do with it, because it is going to be dark. It is going to have actually, serious tone, but there's going to be a little break there. Give you some breathing room.
Lots of blood.
Yeah, but like I said, there is going to be not as much as we'd hoped, but still a lot. Especially the opening credits. I mean, we'll probably have 15, 20 kills in the opening credits.
Wow.
I mean, the credits when the title rolls, are going to see people being murdered. So
Nice.
That's going to be pretty cool. I've never seen anyone do that. They'll probably steal it now that I've told them what we're doing, but I don't care. They won't do it the same way. So
No.
They got to wait too. They can't film till this thing's over either. So
that's true.
Yeah. No, we did it first. So
That's right. Hey, William.
It's documented.
It's documented right here.
One of the ladies would like you, if you could post a link to your book page so she could find you. And
Sure.
Renfield, they're asking, do you have an Instagram account?
No.
No. Okay.
Probably should, but no one wants.
I'm on Instagram. So I'm a William
You are
Armstead.
or are not?
Yeah,
He is Butcher's Bluff.
Butcher's Bluff. As Butcher's
Yeah,
Bluff.
Butcher's Bluff
Okay.
and myself, William
William.
Armstead. I'm on
Okay.
there. Yeah.
I probably should be, but no one wants to see me. So.
Oh, stop
it.
So-
I don't do the Twitter, so
We know, William, you don't like to talk about yourself. Music speaks to me. Just want you to know. So while I was watching that trailer, the music was like, wow, it gut wrenched me. But then on the other side of that dark, twisted shit that you put on that trailer was the song that you sang in heaven, Tears in Heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've never cried so much listening to a song. You have a beautiful voice and
really
your
do.
passion in your heart, and no one's ever touched me like that in a song, and thank you.
Oh Jesus, thanks. That's humbling. I'm a failed musician, man. That's pretty usually why I turned to film.
I don't think that's a fail. You got it.
Very talented.
I turned to film in 2009 when I decided to make my first feature film because I couldn't keep a damn band together. I tried to get a band for the time I was 17. Everyone I would get in would end up falling apart. And, when I came to Austin, and I tried for years and years and years, and I just was never able to get it off the ground. And I ended up
American Idol.
Yeah, I went on American Idol. I did. I said, look, I'm going to sell my soul. I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes. And then I went out drinking the night before and went up there with no sleep and hungover, and I fucking sucked balls.
Oh.
But hey, it is what it is. At least I had the guts to do it. So
That's
You
right.
did. You did.
So anyway,
on the show.
yeah,
So.
That's right.
Yeah, I went to my first audition in 2007 because one of my musician friends told me I couldn't do it.
Aww.
So he said, "You're not an actor. No one will hire you." I was like, "Oh yeah, watch and see." And I was hired on my very first audition. I
Good for you.
Got a speaking role in a film called Between Kings and Queens. If you can find it, I've only seen the movie once at the premiere. It was basically a serious version of Coming to America, written by an African lady here in town in Austin. And I got the part that was written for a 18-year-old kid, a minority kid, and I showed up, and they ended up hiring me, which was funny.
Oh, wow.
Because I changed all the dialogue, because obviously I don't speak street slang, the hip hop slang. So I made it different, and went to the audition, changed all the dialogue, and they hired me.
Good for you. And this is a PG show, so this is for those people that said that to you. Sorry, but I don't like it when people tell people they can't do things because you don't know what someone's capable of. You just encourage them.
Your friends bust your balls. They tell you, "Oh, you can't do that. No one's going to hire you." It was kind of like that. It wasn't like you can't do it.
Okay, good.
It was more like no one's going to hire you. Look at you, And so, but here's the thing: is that I'm typecast and I like it. That gets me jobs. So whenever they need some big ugly biker guy, then hey, let's do it. I'm down. Let's hire me. So
for the record, they said that Butcher's Bluff, there was no market for Butcher's Bluff. They said that before the Indiegogo.
Wrong.
And, yeah, they said that no one wants a slasher. So $41,000 later.
Pretty much we all do.
Yeah.
They said no one wanted a slasher, and they said you're not going to do this because we don't want to see a slasher. Wrong, asshole.
That's right. Big time.
That's proven wrong.
Apparently. Yeah.
But
and I mean, it's okay to be typecasted. It's okay to be typecasted because when you have a mohawk, when you have a mohawk and you're an ER nurse, that's pretty much typecasting right there. So.
Okay, we call that a surfer cut in Florida.
What?
We call that a surfer cut in Florida. Unless that's standing straight up, that's not a mohawk.
He's ain't got no stuff in it, kid.
He can make it go straight up.
Kid Renfield's awesome.
But anyway,
you know how much white rain that's going to cost me? White rain is expensive.
It is. It is.
For that.
Hey, I lived in the 80s. I know.
She knows.
Yeah. Lance and Sam, did you say this was fucking rated PG-13?
Oh, I said it with my fingers in the air.
Oh, okay.
Does that put it to an R? Does that make it an R?
I was shooting the bird when I said that, which I never do. I hate it when that happens.
I forgot to ask if we were going to have to beep shit out. Oops, said it again.
No, you can say whatever you want.
No rules here. No.
For the record, I have been on my best behavior tonight.
Yes, you have.
If you can tell, I'm like stuttering and stammering because I keep wanting to say.
You can say whatever you want.
Guess what Sam's favorite word is? The F word, because it explicitly explains without explanation everything you could possibly ever feel. Depends on how you say it.
I hear it a lot.
It's a verb.
Everything.
I've got to interrupt for one moment.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what Lance's favorite word probably is.
Oh man, that gets funnier every time.
It just doesn't get any worse.
Was it a nanny cam or something? I mean, how the hell did you get that?
So, do you see this thing right there?
Okay. Yeah.
So he works evenings, so I'm home. So it's actually a walkie-talkie camera, and he goes, "Did that video?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he found it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, please."
That is hilarious.
There was a bone underneath the blanket, and he didn't want to hurt the dog, and it just
nothing was going for me. Nothing.
It was, and the more you see it, the funnier it gets.
And if you see the next video where I'm cussing and slowly getting up, she's not moving. She didn't jump to check on me. Nothing.
Lance, I probably should not admit this right now, but I'm going to anyway. I sent Joe the wave file for the old cartoon of the.
He did, and I didn't have a time to download it. But he sent that like a month ago, and damn it, I'm just not remembering it. Also.
Somebody said if somebody put that Scooby Doo to it, it would just be
or the Mario Brothers thing or something.
Yeah, if anybody put sound effects to it, it would be hilarious.
It ties.
Explicitly
Explains without explanation. Samantha Wagner.
Thank you. I'm speaking American.
Never gonna let me live that one down either. Guys, we've gone over. Joe's tired and he's got to work tomorrow. And
Renfield, thank you for staying up late for us.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm old AF. Okay, so
I think I'm the oldest one in the house.
You're just a baby.
I'm over 50.
You're just. Well, you don't look like it.
Thank
but,
you. I'm used to being the oldest one.
I've been dead inside for many, many years, and I'm 2 days older than William. So
that's awesome.
Y'all are
I'm
just
2 days
babies.
older than him. So yeah, but I could be
birthday weekend in Houston.
You don't know.
Hell yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I could be another New Orleans vampire. You wouldn't know. That's
true.
Please come here for your birthday. I want to be designated driver, and I will document everything.
We're guests at the Houston Horror.
Okay, y'all are going
on that weekend.
Y'all are still going.
It's just moved to September, so as long as it's still going on, I will be in Houston that weekend. I am a guest. I have confirmed I will be there, so we will. If you're in the area, we will be there, and we'll be at Frightmare the weekend after that. So
sweet. All right, well, we're gonna make a date.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, guys.
We love you guys, and
thank you.
Check out Butcher's Bluff. Butcher's Bluff on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, we keep sharing everything. We keep sharing everything too. Also, Scott Williamson, since he's not here, everybody, if you can go to the GoFundMe, if you can help out. I know it's tough times for a lot of people, but if you can help Scott out, please do.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say, everybody stick around for a moment after this ends. And whenever you guys are going to end it, I'm not going to interrupt again.
Oh, we're good.
We love y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for coming on, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We love everybody.